So part 2, I just want to make sure that you understand the important things that you should get out of dilating segments and lines. And that is that when we dilate segments as well as lines, when we dilate them, they are going to be parallel to the pre-image. So they will be parallel to the pre-image, and remember the pre-image is the original one. So that's one thing that you need to make sure you understand here. And then the scale factor, not only when we do segments, not only is the scale factor telling you how much larger the segment is, it's also doing the same scale to the distance from the dilation point. So scale factor changes the length of your segment, but it also changes the distance from your center of dilation. So I'm just going to abbreviate for space there. Sorry about that. So when we dilate segments, things that you need to remember is it's always going to be parallel, and then the scale factor not only changes the length of the segment, it's also going to change the distance that the segment is from the center point that you're using to dilate. And then if your center of dilation is on your segment, then the segment will overlap. Then segments will overlap. And hopefully that makes sense to you as well. Oops, sorry about that. All right, now just a quick topic on lines, because I think that that's kind of confusing, but then it might just be confusing because you're almost overthinking it a little bit. But if we started off, let's just say with this line right here, if we were to dilate this line from this point, and let's say that our scale factor, let's say the scale factor is 5/2. So that means that it's going to be 2.5 times larger, the scale factor. As you know, this is a collection of points. It's going to extend forever in both directions. So how we set up here, the scale factor is going to change the length of the segment. Scale factor can't really change the length of a line. So that part isn't necessarily going to be something that you could even measure. But what we can measure is the part about changing the distance from the center. And that's really what's going to happen when you do the scale factor for the line. So if we were just to pick, gosh, I didn't do really good points here, did I? So let's say we went up 1/2 and over 3. So if we go up 1/2 and then over 3, if we do, here, so I'm just going to write this down. So actually I'm writing it backwards. So we're going to go over 3 and up 1/2. Sorry about that. From our point right here, if we do this 2.5 times, then we're going to end up going over 7.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. And then if we take 1/2 and do that 2.5 times, we're going to end up going up 1 1/4. So if we're here and we go up 1 1/4, we would end like maybe somewhere right there. And again, the line would end up being parallel because all of our points would move in that way. Now what we have done here, we can't measure the size of the line, but if we extended this out, we would see that this piece right here is 2.5 times the size of this piece right there. So when you're working with lines, there's really no length of segment that you're changing. What you're going to be changing is the distance from the center. All right, I think that that covers dilating segments and lines, so you can pick up today's worksheet, and we should be back to work tomorrow.